I do not know if you can hear me, but hopefully you can. I set my mic settings up high, hoping the audio will finally work. And, well, I put in the description if audio doesn't really work on what I'm doing. And that is, I am going to be fighting multiple bosses and talking about some others. And I expect the stream to last a decently long time. But I'm gonna pretty much just, because I've studied some of these bosses and like fought them multiple times, looked up guides myself even when I couldn't fight them, and I learned how to cope with them. And now I realize I do have Xenojiva armor and, well, Nergigante and all that kind of stuff, but these guides will work for pretty much anything. And I don't remember, but I should have some low rank armor that I can use to make this challenge harder. And just for the fun of it, I'll throw in a Wiggler head. And let's see. Alright, well, so I guess that looks a little bit better. But, so, first, to start with, I know, like, these bosses, I realize I may not struggle with all of these bosses. Actually, I love some of them, like, they are really fun to fight. But I just see that a majority of people do. And the first one that I see is the Juratotus. I know, big old fish guy. Mudfish. The guy who uses mud as armor. And because I think this will be a useful thing to like do while talking about this, is we have weaknesses. So the Juratotus, you can break his head and his tail, and if you've played this game and you've beaten this guy, I'm sure you already know this, and or if you've researched this guy enough. But he takes a very low damage to fire when not covered in mud. And then he doesn't take any fire damage at all when he's covered in mud. So, basically what you're going to want to do is you're going to either want to use a water weapon or a thunder weapon. Now, a water weapon, it may not be the best choice, but since he often will regenerate his armor, that's what makes it effective. Because water will deal tons of damage to his mud armor, and thunder will deal tons of damage to himself when he's not armored. So basically, if you use like an element of the water element, like if a water element will not damage him when he's unarmored, but it will damage him when he's covered in mud. So it doesn't matter which weapon you use, and you can even use ice or dragon. But thunder and water are the most effective, and I've beaten him with both of them, and I've found it really does not matter that much which one you choose. All it matters is if you can avoid him. You know, he has a similar a cousin, as I'm going to call it. They're in the same type of wyvern, and that's the Levacia. This guy is a lot lower on my list. He's an optional boss, though. So if you've gotten to the Eldritch Recess, then you know about him and how tough he can be. So, but we'll get to him later. Yes, I've hunted 6 Devil Joes. Diablos, we will be getting to Diablos, because Diablos is one of... that's pretty obvious. I struggled with this guy like crazy until I finally figured out the strategy to defeating him. And how was that? So let's go back up to... we started at Juratotus. The next one that a lot of people struggle with is Anjanath. Anjanath. Yeah, I struggled with him when I first tried him, and it was so annoying because I didn't get anything. But then as I kind of went on, I kind of started to understand things. So of course his weaknesses are water and thunder, or even ice. Those 3 elements are very effective towards him. Fire is not, though, so don't use fire. And I recommend, I will be talking about this guy, so I will not be fighting him, but I will be fighting the Juratotus, however. And You know what? Heck, I'm gonna fight the internet. Let's do that. And then we have, so we will talk about him more later. But we have Paolumu next. And now this guy, I'm gonna talk about this guy because honestly he's kind of annoying and it's kind of straightforward how he is. Well, Paolumu's greatest weakness is fire and blast. So, or even stun. So if you have either of those three elements, those are very effective to use in this fight. Even if you have a thunder weapon. So if you have your Tobi-Kadachi, that's effective. That will kill him or defeat him. And then you want to try to avoid his tail. So like his tail is breakable, as you can see. Oops. And so is his head. And for all of you that have faced the Paolumu, you know that he's tough when he inflates. And the easiest way to defeat him is to hit that sack while he's in the sky, that big old inflated thing, and you can break it, and it will knock him out of the sky. And I'm sure most people know that. You can break his wings, and that's basically the gist of it. And then we have Legiana. Legiana, we'll decide on if we fight her or not. Probably will end up fighting her, because I did like the Legiana. And Legiana is pretty straightforward. And I will discuss that more, but if you have a tough time fighting her, then bring a thunder or a fire weapon. Or a poison. Those are all really good weapons. Odegaard, I know some people struggle with him, but I don't find a lot of people who struggle with him too much. Because once I've gotten an ice weapon from Legiana, he's not that bad. And if you've beaten the Tobi-Kadachi, then you kind of know the moveset, because they share a very similar moveset. And I can talk about him, though. And then after that, we have Rathalos and Diablos, because both of these are tough. The Rathalos, I think, was kind of easy, but that's my opinion. So, some of you might find this guy really tough, and I've seen a lot of people struggle with him. And I will be fighting him, because I do enjoy him. He is a good fight. He takes very high damage to dragon weapons, and this is right around the time where you're going to unlock the Dragon Bone recipe. I suggest bringing that, because that's how I beat him the very first time, was using a dragon element weapon. And while it do make low damage, it does not deal that much low damage to him. It's very, very effective. Especially if you know how to use longsword. I will be hunting with a longsword, a greatsword, and a charge blade. Just so you know. And it will differ because I feel like each boss has a specific weapon that works against them better. Like Diablos, a longsword, it pretty much works with every boss. But a greatsword is kind of hard to beat a Diablos with. But that's someone's opinion. You really know how to use it, then go ahead and use it. But Diablos has given me even a tough time, even when I don't know, I've always struggled with him. But I found out the strategy to defeating him. It's pretty straightforward. You basically get him to, you bring an ice weapon, or a dragon weapon, or even a water weapon, or a paralysis weapon. And you get him to crash into the wild spires. Aim for his horns first. You break his horns, then he will deal less damage and loosen attacks. And then after that, you want to kind of like aim for his legs so he will fall. And then after that, you can go wherever you want to break. His tail, you can sever his tail and make it easier to fight him with his, because his tail can be pretty dangerous. Or you can just break any part of him you so please. And that's pretty much the Diablos. I will talk about him more later on. And then people struggled with the Dodogama. I've seen a lot of people who need a lot of help fighting this guy. And I plan to fight this guy because I do love the Dodogama. Dodogama's pretty cool. And then we're not even going to discuss this guy. I hate the Basil Keys, and he still kills me. Pink Rathian. I'm going to kind of cover, like, because the Rathian and the Rathalos are very similar, but they have, their only difference is some of their attacks. Like where Rathalos is more fire-based, and Rathian is more poison. I will discuss the Pink Rathian, though. We will not be discussing the Devil Joe, however, because I really don't have the greatest strategy defeating the Double Joe. I just kind of go with the flow. Lavasieth, I will be fighting, and I will be showing like the whole strategy while I do that. And this is kind of funny. Yes, I know he takes a very low weakness to fire, but fire can still damage him when his armor hardens. So that's what I've found, or it keeps his armor molten. I don't know, but it's useful. I've used a water weapon against. I've killed him with both a water and a fire weapon. Ice and thunder are both effective when he's not armored. Well, when his armor's not hardened. And that's pretty much it. That's well, no, it's not. Now we're gonna get down into the Elder Dragons. I'm not gonna be fighting a lot of Elder Dragons, and I have not slain a Black Diablos. Nergigante, we're gonna talk about him because honestly, he takes a while to fight, and we're just not gonna get into that. He's a very tough boss. I will give him that. And even someone late game can get killed by him if they're not careful. And then we also Vel'Hazak can be very annoying, but I found a pretty effective strategy defeating him. And then we're going to talk about Xeno'jiiva, because I won't have a quest to kill her, and besides she takes forever. Because there are some strategies to Xeno'jiiva, but she's tough. And I do suggest, if you're going to use a weapon against her, like the best weapon to use is something with long range. If you're a master at the Greatsword and you know how to get those perfect hits in, use the Greatsword. Use the weapon you are most comfortable with. That is my... and then with her, she's pretty much weak against almost every element. If you have a poison weapon, however, though, that is what you should bring, because she is severely weak against poison. But other than that, not really. We're not going to discuss Behemoth. I can't kill him. So. Alright. So. Let's... let's jump into this. Alright. Let's see. We're just gonna use... oh good, I have an electric longsword. Let's use that. It's a level 1. I was probably gonna upgrade it, but... oh. Let's just jump in the quest, because you know that's the best. And I know my armor may not be as low as, and I'm not gonna be fighting at my best because I'm gonna be talking through most of this, and I'm gonna be like showing off ways what you can do to avoid. And these strategies, if they don't work for you, then I'm sorry, but they worked for me. And that doesn't, well, that not everything works for everybody. That's how I go with this. Everyone finds their own strategy. All I can do is I can give you some advice. But let's do this. And because my Palico might, I don't know. You know, I'll probably just take him with me. I don't really care either way. Checking my harvests, and we'll get this show on the road.
Harvest, harvest.
All right. I also plan to do a stream, another stream, where I fight all my favorite bosses. Because all of these bosses that I am fighting or talking about are ones people struggle with. But when it's all favorites, I'm going to be fighting all my favorites. Or some of them. Because I will be fighting some of the bosses that I absolutely love in this livestream. Like, I liked fighting the Levacia, the Xeno. So, I don't know, and you can make fun of me if I'm saying the names wrong, but that's just how I say it. I don't really care. Alright. So, this is not the weapon that you'd be typically using against this boss. Normally, you'd probably have like a Barrett or a Jagras weapon. So, well, so basically, you can mount it. You can, if you know how to mount, blah blah blah, you'll get the whole mountain thing. Well, you can do multiple things to avoid being thrown off, and that is. Let's try to see if we can get this. Now, if you are a longsword user and you need those Giratoda spins, you gotta aim for the back. No. You gotta break it twice. And then, if he will drop, this boss has a tendency to drop a lot of Slinger Thorns. They are you pick them up whenever you see them. They are very, very effective. And I guess, and aim for the points that you want to break. So, I really don't care if I'm just gonna hit him in the face. And wherever else I hit him. And then, when he tries to do his mud thing. Aww. Well, that's over. But yet, while this may not be the weapon you would fight this guy with, this isn't really an unreal weapon to fight him. You're gonna get a lot of good body hits. Waiting for him to do this. Here we go. All right, now he's doing the mud. If you can't hit him and he regenerates his armor, that's totally fine. No one's perfect. And when he does that ability, just start rolling. Like basically, whenever you see him go under and do a flip in the air and then go back under, just keep rolling or running to the side. Never change direction. When he does this, I find it most effective to just run to the side. Roll. Ah, here we go. So, you see him? Now we're gonna roll. Well, no, he's going to Bucky. But if he was going towards me, you just roll the minute you see him go under and do that twice, and you should have evaded it. Oh, it's been so long since I've used such a low-level weapon. And alright though. Alright, so, see? There you go. Alright, sharpen this dude. Alright, so I got a good hit on him. Alright. I'm gonna let him leave. Sharpen this sword. And we'll come back. Now, if you feel like you're going too slow, use the wedge beetles. They're there for a reason. I don't know. And then, another good advice, use your environment. So, when he goes up here, there's usually some paratoads sitting around, or some helm crabs, and helm crabs will have fling around. So when you want to like hit him with a paratoad, and you need him to get him in one of those charges, and then you have to try to stand it so like to make him like want to come after you. There. I'm glad that worked first time. Usually it doesn't. And there's a good hit. And then when you break part of him, hit his weak points, like shown, are his head. So, hit that head with all you got. And hopefully you're hearing this, because if you're not, it would look really weird. But it's not like I look... Alright. When he does a turf war, back off a little bit. And then, you basically want to wait, because usually the Gyrototus will get knocked down from this. So... But if he doesn't, then that's totally fine. Normally the bear throws him. Like that. And he'll get knocked, well, he didn't get knocked, but you know what I mean. He will take damage. And make sure to grab the drums. Barrett. There. Get a good scale. And I realize I'm using Coral Cheerhorn. You will not have that by like yet, but just use your bigger lock to effectively expand. There. And then once you get him on land, this is when he's easiest. He won't be doing all those water-based attacks. And Barrett will probably take on it. And Barretts are annoying. That's pretty... No. Make sure you avoid your Barretts. And take the material. And don't fall... Oh yeah. And then I did that on purpose. So, mud piles right here. You know, if you know from fighting the bear, he does that here. Right here. Or not. Must be dried. But... the mud will get you stuck, and you want to... My best strategy is to just roll out of it, because running through it doesn't always work. But just try to avoid his mud. That's the best advice I can. And no one's perfect, so don't feel like you're bad because you can't miss it, because you can't avoid it. I've gotten hit by the muck, even... I still get hit by it every once in a while. So, and then just time your attack. Well, this is what with longsword, like, I guess. If you haven't found out how to use longsword by now, I would suggest going to the training area or looking at the longsword guide. Basically, you fill your spirit gauge, which is that red little sword underneath the sharpness meter. Once it's filled, you can do your spirit blade attack. You land that last attack, like that one right there that I missed. You land it, it starts glowing with like a white aura. Well, that white aura can be used, The weight aura can be used to, like that's when you have a thing. Then you back up. You do like you hold R2 and tap triangle. So you'll do this kind of thrust, which you probably know how to do. But when it's glowing, you'll jump up and splash. Like, and then all I can say is that whenever he does like a jump to try to like think, just jump under him. And that's pretty much the Gyrototus. I like the Gyrototus. A very fun boss. So, we're going to return to camp because I can just do a quest from there. And the next fight we're doing is, what was it? Oh yeah, Anjanath. We were doing Anjanath next. Now I'm just going to switch to my good gear because, you know, I feel like explaining this more than taking the time to murder him very slowly like I did this one. Because the Gyrototus is a boss that I enjoy more of the time, like, because it's a very fun boss. Big old fish. And what I have also found out is that the Levasieth is, while very similar to it, does not have the same attacks, as the Levasieth will use different strategies. And I will show you that more when I get to it, because it is on this list. So, I didn't really, because I wasn't aiming too much for like breaking parts of him, more so than killing him. But you get the gist. Another, what I found to be effective any weapon is effective against this guy if you know how to use it. And Anjanath. This boss can be used however you want. Like, you can fight this guy with pretty much any weapon. But I know that I am not very skilled with fighting him with certain weapons. So we'll keep the Wiggler head because I love the Wiggler head. But we're gonna put back on some Xenohide armor because well, we're gonna put back on our current armor. No, it's right here. And then for the weapon, because he is weak against water, I'm not gonna use a water weapon though. But yes, I have a level 1 Dipterus. I could use that, but let's think of something else to do. So I want to get to other things. You know what? Let's just use a Charge Blade. Because the Charge Blade can, I can use the strategy because it's like because in its axe form, it is a heavy weapon, like the Greatsword, that can't be blocked. But it can, except the Greatsword can block. And this can only block in its sword and shield form. So, and this can't block every attack, but it can block some. But you get the gist of it. So, and like I know a lot of people struggle with the Anjanath, and let's kill an Anjanath. I can. If only if I had to fight a Palnumo, I have one MS special arena. Oh, wait, I'm in the wrong one. He's in. I think he's in 3. Yep, here it is. So it's been so long since I fought a low rank Anjanath. Oh yeah, I miss it. Alright, and then you'll have the Northeast camp, I'm sure, because you get it from defeating the Kula Yaku. Which is the second boss, technically. And yeah, I started with the 5th because the first 4, like, I don't see a lot of people struggle with them. I can talk about them though, like in like ways like how they can be defeated easily. Like Kula Yaku, who's on actually at the bottom of the list, but not the normal Kula Yaku. I'm talking about the Crystal Kula Yaku from the Final Fantasy Adam. Because if you fought him, you know how tough he is. Because with his crystal attacks, if you're not like super armored up, then he can pretty much one-shot you with any jump attack. So you basically just strafe to the side, like you dodge to the sides. You never dodge towards him or away from him even. You always side dodge Gulu. And with Brute Wyverns, I've noticed this strategy does work with Devil Joe. Is that when they do any kind of attack, dodge under them, not like to the side. Another thing, so if you go to this camp, which I'm sure most of you will because it's close, always grab this. Water Moss is essential, especially if you don't have a water weapon. Which I know that I don't think I did. So, I already have him marked on my map, so I can just like run over to him. So, let's talk about the Pukey, because, well, I'm sure that the Kulu's probably only attacks that he's tough about is his whole jumping attacks and when he arms with a rock. You can use, like, any sort of pod to usually get him to knock it down. A piercing pod I've found works. The best is, of course, a flash pod, because that, like, works on almost everything. One of the greatest tools in this game. I'm sure if you watch guides on this, everyone tells you, pick flash pods. They are super helpful. And then, dung pods, they can be useful when you get to like harder places. Because you're going to encounter all these enemies that just love to face off with everything. And you don't really necessarily want to fight that enemy, because they will deal tons of damage to you. And you're just not prepared to fight them. Well, dung pods will tell them to go away. Make them smell like poop. So, usually you have a cutscene, and that's gross, man. That's really gross. He took a dump and sneezed. Alright, so yeah, usually I fight smaller engine ass. This guy looks kind of like a little bit larger than the normal ones I fight. Well, I'm sure you've seen, like, in the guides, is like, aim for the throat, like this little bubble right here. That's a good place to hit when he's all fiery. But if you have these puddle pods, like I told you to grab, you can hit him in the face whenever he's fired up. I can't believe I just said that. So, he should not actually attack me yet, because I don't know why he wants to fight. Hey, hi. Took him forever to notice me. Alright, let's start this fight. Alright, so, like most Brute Wyverns, aim for the legs. And when he charges, dodge to the side. With that, there's a side dodge. And then So then you don't have to aim for his legs, but they should knock him down after you break them. And when you break them, you can deal more damage to him. And you can dodge underneath him when he does, like, and find an attack where he does. That is a side attack. I forgot about that. Alright. So, and then you can aim, I don't know what you want to aim for, but aim for whatever suits your fancy. And always use your environment. Okay, Devil Joe is probably the worst with this kind of stuff. But you obviously know what Anjaneth's gonna do. Anjaneth's gonna wipe the floor with him. And this is actually a very good time to get some good hits in. And when you see him, he's gonna throw him. You want to try to, you don't want to get too close. Because that will damage. And always aim for his tail and his feet. Alright. And when he alright. Come on, I gotta get him fired up a little bit. Get him. Use his fire. Well, so most of that. Alright, here we go. Now he's all fiery. Okay. So you can grab the puddle pods. It's suggested to aim at his face. Which I just failed at. And he will do like these like flamethrower attacks. Like, let's wait for him to do one. So there's one. He will do 3 of these, like, what I've noticed, he does these, like, 3 flames, or not. He just does it immediately. Trying to prove me wrong. Oh, I thought he was going to do the flame spray there. Let's just pretend that never happened. That's pretty funny. Less talking, more fighting. So, well, I guess it's not fired up anymore. But when he has his, because when he does that flamethrower, he will power down, obviously. Then when he moves to this area, or if he moves to this area, if you're sure, these are vine traps. You try to get him to crash into these. So, usually you need a powerful attack. I don't know what's gonna take for him to do it though. Just try to get him to knock this over. Come on. Alright. There we go. So, then if you get him to step on it, vine trap. Okay. So, severing his tail, while it's not needed, it is fun to do. So, I guess Anjanath doesn't work with the dodging below, like I had said originally. But he's weak against water, so use water element. And don't get roasted. And take advantage of vine traps. Alright. Then if you can get a good mount on this guy, it doesn't matter where you aim for. And I think I tired him out, so this mount was pretty easy. Not much of a fight. Alright. So now... Alright. So you're gonna get him. Every monster will drop pods. I've noticed that tougher ones drop bombs. Yes, take the bomb pods. Even if you have puddle pods to spare. But it doesn't matter either way. Whatever pod suits your fancy. Water, like puddle pods. If you can hit him in the face with 3 of them, it should knock out his fire element. And then when if he moves here, which I'm sure he will, try to get him to break open the Kulu nest. See, you get a good nest open. You got flash bugs in here. So, no, I don't want his footprints. If you can hit him with the flash pods and not pick up Jagra's footprints. I missed. So try to make sure he's looking. And then you can blind him. And then you may not get to the nest, but it doesn't matter. Just whenever you can, try to take a strike at his face. And then, yeah. That's pretty much the guide to the Anjanath. So, I'll talk about the Paolumu. I started talking earlier about him, how, like, he has the face sack thingy. It's not too hard. But all you gotta do is when he puffs up, you break it. And, okay, so strategies to defeating the Paolumu. Probably one of the easiest strategies is you try to avoid the tail. So, like, whenever he swings, you gotta get away from that tail. He does do a lot of moves that the Puki does, so if you've had experience with that, he does have a lot of the same moves. Especially like where he'll like spit like blasts of air, and all you have to do is just side dive it. He'll do like multiple dives where all you do is just dodge to the side. Legiana also shares some similar moves, but not like they're just different animations, but they pretty much have the same effect. And that's pretty much it for this boss. And we will be doing Legiana next. So for Legiana, well, her greatest weakness is any lightning weapons. I'm going to be using probably a fire weapon, because I do like the axe line blade. I haven't gotten it up to max though, so but I plan to. It'll be just about as good as this one. I have somewhere this one. Yeah, it's not fully upgraded, but I do have an electric one, but this one just looks cool. So, let's use it. So for Legiana, I'm sure you probably start doing this when you meet Juratotus. You start collecting null berries. You'll find them by the Juratotus' spawn area, like where you get the cutscene. These berries are essential. I mean, you don't have to have them, but it makes your life a lot easier, as you can just use it to cure pretty much every blight, except poison and blast blight. But Legiana will inflict you with ice blight, which makes you drain through your stamina like crazy, and that is what we are avoiding. So oh wait, I always keep looking for the high rank stuff. Where is it? Human headache. Here we go. Northeast. If you have the northeast camp, by the way, that's usually really close to the Legiana's spawn area. And while we're fighting Legiana, I will talk about ways to counter her, and also to defeat the Paolumu. The Paolumu is, I don't know why so many people like struggled with it. I guess it's probably because it like inflates, and there's not like a lot that like fly that crazy. And it's like the first one that you meet that flies like that. Unless you decide to fight Rathian, but Rathian doesn't fly as much as the Paolumu does. And Paolumu can also be defeated easily if you can aim any kind of powerful attack for its wings. So this is if you're using a bow. Aim the, I think it's called the Dragon Piercer, the heavy attack. It's been so long since I've used a bow, so I don't remember all the ability names. But aim that for the wings, because if you haven't broken, that's only if you haven't broken them. It's not as effective if you haven't. But just aim for the wings. So let's hunt us a Legiana, a low rank, sadly, but I just feel like this is a good way to show, and also grab some supplies while if I need them. Legiana will usually land here. Like, oh, I can see her up there. Okay, where is she? She is... she's up in her nest. So by now, when you fight the Legiana, there's tons of nullberries around here, by the way. So if you're ever on nullberries, there should be some around here. The only reason I'm doing this low rank is because I don't feel like getting attacked by basil geese, because basil geese are very annoying. If you're a high rank hunter, you know that. And I do like, they put a lot of wedge beetles here because this is very pain in the butt to climb. It takes forever. Watch her not even be here. She ain't here. She's a butt. Legiana, you're a butt. Probably miscalculated. She's not where I thought she was. Yep, she's coming down here. There she is. Alright, so with Legiana, it's okay if you don't. She can be a little bit harder to mount. And then, alright, so she has multiple attacks that you can evade just by dodging to the side and attacking her legs. And when she's in the sky, this works with Paolumu. Flash pot her. And you want to make sure it's in her sight. So when she's standing stationary, like... that's good. We don't need yet, because she landed, but... there's also, you have to keep in mind that she's fast, so you want to time your attacks correctly. Alright. This place is probably the easiest one to mount her in. And if you have befriended the Grimalkines, then you're probably pretty well off, because they will do this to you. For you. And it usually ends with them knocking down the enemy. So, when you do manage to knock her down, be it mounting or Grimalkines, aim for pretty much anything. Her tail is an effective place to aim for, as you can break that membrane that it will lower her speed a little bit. Only by a little bit though. But usually that can be helpful. So there, we broke the tail. And then she will get, when she has this ice fur, I call it fur, on her chest, that's when she's gonna do a bunch of ice-based attacks. So we're gonna get hit by it, just so I can show you what I mean. Or not. Come on, give me Ice Blade. So, there we go. Now we do. See? Alright, so with like Ice Blade. This isn't only if you're new to no berries. Very simple. Boom, gone. And that is the why you use no berries. So. And even if I have it, I don't really care. No. This is only if you're like new and you need like tons of stamina to evade her. Not all over attacks you. Also, if you can block, that's probably one of the best effective ways to dodge your ice. As that is her closest to a ranged attack. I'm just kind of playing this loosely. I'm not strategizing. And then, alright. So with Legiana, yeah, remember, like with all bosses, remember to grab the drops. And I think she's going down here. If you utilize Sitsia Kuz, I think is what he's called. Utilize him. If you can get them to fight, he will do it, or even if you get him to fight you. You can get him to flashbang Legiana. Which is actually very useful. Like so. And you and what I just did is that you can block to miss it. Let's charge up this charge blade. Or not. Gotcha. We should probably use a health potion. We are playing too recklessly. Kind of funny, getting beat by a low-rank Legiana. Because we're just fooling around. Alright, so now for the rest of this fight, I'm going to be more serious. And now, I also do recommend, if you do have the supplies to capture Legiana, I would capture her over killing. And then, you can get more rewards that way. Cut it because I'm crazy. You have to be very careful because she will break your combos. So I found the best weapon to use against her is something fast. Anything you can hit her very fast with. Insect Glaive being among the most recommended. I have defeated Legiana with Insect Glaive multiple times. And it is very easy. As you can just keep jumping even when she's in the sky. And yeah, their tail is very annoying. Sadly, you can't tap it off. So you just watch for all the Qs that she's gonna do. She does before attacking. And you can't hit, have like enough to get all of them, but you should have the damage jewel by now. Thinking. Hey, Rick. Like, and remember to utilize wedge beetles. Always use those wedge beetles. They're so helpful in this. And whenever she tries to damage you, jump to a different part. You know the gist. I'm sure you do. I mean, I hope you do. Well, that's a really weird camera angle. Let's see if I can do this. Yeah! Alright, so yeah. You don't have to do what I just did, but that is fun to do. I don't know how I missed that. Alright, broke the wings. I do need to sharpen this. Also, don't only try to keep her here when you have enough sharpness to do it. Ah, it didn't work. All right. So obviously she's gonna retreat to her nest, because that's what wounded things do. And because I don't feel like climbing that again. Charge my blade. But yeah, if you bring nullberries, this fight shouldn't, and flash pods, this fight shouldn't be too bad. And then this is the point where you capture her, of course. But sadly for her, I am not capturing her. Because I don't have any traps. I got trank bombs, but no traps. So, kill this thing. Try to land a powerful hit on the head. I don't know what the point of that was, but you should always bring Coral Tearhorn to pretty much every fight that you struggle with. If you can, learning to heal without your Palico is probably one of the greatest skills. Because then that will leave him room for a Coral Cheerhorn, and he can buff you. And if you have the Glider Mantle, you should use it up here. Because you can beat Legiana kind of easily up here. With all these updrafts. If you know how to use them. So she has an obsession with flying. Flash pods. I have enough, I just don't feel like using it. Because I might need them for other bosses. Let's see. Yeah, we're fighting Rathalos. Rathalos If you don't have flash pods for Rathalos, you're screwed. The Rathalos card does not land very often. You know what? Actually, I can use some Legiana pieces, so... Because I think I was gonna like start making ice weapon. Legiana plate. I think I have like 2 of those. I don't know. But there you go. Fallen Legiana. Alright, so next on our list of things to do, beating a Rathalos. And I don't know if you've noticed this. I haven't noticed this already, but as it goes up, it's like I'm going harder and harder. So now we're doing the Rathalos, and I do not recommend Charge Blade for Rathalos. I mean, if it suits your fancy, use it, but I normally use a Greatsword. So we will be fighting, you know what, I'll fight a Diablos, and I will fight Rathalos. And then we're going, I might, depending on the time, let's see what time it is, I will fight Dodogama or talk about him. The stupid thing, however, this is about me, not anything about the game, is that I didn't know how to get rid of Blast Blight when I fought Dodo the first time. So I kept getting blown up, because I'm like, how do you get rid of it? How do you get rid of it? And then I finally found out that you can get rid of it by rolling, which is actually really funny, because that just shows how stupid I am sometimes. The wiggle ahead proves it all. Alright.
We're on the hunt.
So, next up we have Rathalos, the King of the Skies. Alright. Alright, and then Ancient Forest. If you don't have the 3rd camp, the Ancient Forest camp, that one, that's totally fine. Just choose the same one you did. I did for Angina. I think it was the northeast one. Because that's not super close, but it's closer than the other one, than the southwest one, the one you start out with. But anyway, this one is on the same level as the Rathalos nest. I'm sure you probably already found it when you found as you found the Rathalos nest, and I believe you fall near it, like when you start running away from in the cutscene, and you meet that first Wyverian. Yay! So we're getting decently through this list. I will not be fighting Nergigante though, because I get too stressed when I fight him. I get way too stressed. It drives me insane. The Valhazak is no better. Pretty much all other dragons can stress you out. If any enemy in this game can stress you out. And that's when you just know to take a break, set down the controller, do something, calm down, come back again. Or if you're playing PC, then set down the mouse. Or whatever you're using. You know, I don't even know. Just walk away for a minute, calm down. Alright, so this is basically in the Rathalos cutscene. Oh no, you fall down here, and then you literally just go up there and the camp is right there. So, let's go to the Rathalos nest. Hope he's here. I think he is. Yes, he is. So I'm using Greatsword. It's level 1 Devil Joe sword because I have not gotten a Devil Joe to drop those fangs. Killed 6 of them and they still haven't done it. Rathalos. Now, it depends on where you're fighting him, on like what to do first. Definitely bring flash pots. I don't think I did. So, you gotta. The smartest decision is you gotta watch out for his fire breath. If you can get him to crash into that, I recommend it. You can get him to break that. But if you have a flash pod, use it. Alright, there we go. So, when dealing with the Rathalos, flash pod him out of the sky. And he will poison you, so you have to watch out for that as well. Just demonstrated. He poisoned me. I really don't hit. I don't like poison. I've been trying to get the poison gem forever. Or antidote gem. I guess a smart decision. It depends on whatever you feel like aiming for. Aim for his something. If you want to knock him down, aim for the legs. If you want to get rid of that annoying tail slash, break his tail. No, that's the worst time to run out of stamina. And you got it. Ah, he moved! Move his head. The slightest bit. Alright, so there, tail shot. Whatever you're seeing, like, rearing up, just prepare to dodge and roll away. And hopefully you hit him right there. There we go. Yeah, a good hit. And just take whatever damage you can get. Rathian. Oh, I broke her. Oh, I don't know what I broke. I think I broke her horn. What did I break? Because I already know you would fail. Break Rathian's tail. That's all I have. Freaking poisonous tail. I have a long back history with Rathian. Oh, I broke her wing. So whenever she gets, like, flies up, dodge to the side. Because she will most likely be doing that tail job. And then, because Diablos is up next, I will start to discuss him. And just remember to grab everything along the way, because you never know when it's going to come in handy. Everything that could be useful probably is. You choose whatever you want to hit, and you gotta knock them out. So if you land a good hit on his flank, that's good. Break his wings, that's good too. All you gotta do is to know to move away from him. When he flies up, get away. It may be hard if you're using a great sword. But I, however, think the great sword is the greatest weapon to use against him. Because if you can stagger him, you can keep getting those good hits in. This guy is like the one guy you need on my list that needs continuous flash mods. I would do Kushala Deora, but I'm not doing that because Deora annoys me. I hate falling down here. God damn it. All my advice for this, avoid Rathian and Rathalos battles. Anything you can do to avoid them. And they usually will fight. I don't think I've had one kill on it with the Rathalos where he hasn't battled against the Rathian. The Rathian is among my most hated. Right up there with Basil. Dealing with the Rathian. I almost called them the Rathios. I approach the Rathios from back. Oh, double hit, a 2 for 2. I love those. Don't love that though. And like I said, and like, avoid Rathians. That's what we're talking about with the Rathians, because the Rathian is hard. And I know, and those people, and the worst status debuff of them all. Stun mixed with hope. That is my worst one. That is what I think is the worst. And then we're just gonna get out of here. You can't get a Rathian to stop following you. Flush on you. Rathian fights will most likely be the end of you. And it's not even, and it's just two big brutes hitting each other, so. Oh, I fight, no. I'm fighting a high rank Rathalos. That's why it seems a little bit hard. Yeah, that's really funny. So while I was just thought I was fighting a low rank Rathalos, I was actually fighting a high rank Rathalos. That's actually hilarious. And the Rathian's back. So this is where dung pods come in. To get the hell out of here. Alright. So, if you've dung potted your Rathian and gotten rid of it, you finally get some really good hits in. And you're using Greatsword. Hit that face. So there, how about that? Fighting high rank Rathalos with low health. Without full health. That's pretty fun. I just realized it was high rank by when I saw, wait, there's Galjaka here. Or Gajelka, whatever you say. I don't even know what the name is. And that's kind of fun, you know? Or, wait, is this a low rank? Is this a low rank or a high rank? Why is there Galjaka here? Alright, I'm really confused. He's dropping low rank. I don't. What? Is he high rank or low rank? He's one of the two. So, never mind. I beat a Rathian, that's all that. I mean, a Rathalos, and that's that. So, yeah, that's pretty much the strategy of defeating Rathalos is Flash Bomb. And hitting him where it hurts. Aim for the legs. Yeah, this is a low rank. That was weird. I'm still trying to figure out why there was Gajelka here. And then I saw his name was orange and I was thinking weird. Never mind. Never mind that weird little episode. Well, next is Diablos. The Devil of the Sands. I don't know. That's what I think his name was. I forgot what it was. The Horned Wyvern or something. Now, Diablos. While I do love the Diablos, he is one of the toughest that I have met. As it did take me, I think it took me 5 times before I finally got his attacks down and beat him. So it's 5 times dying 3 times. Well, most likely. The first 4, I died all 3 times. Alright. So, with Diablos, oh, here we go. You're going to want to use a water, an ice weapon, or even a dragon weapon. Or paralysis. Those are all effective. And however, I'm going to be probably using a water weapon. Because I don't really care. So. Alright, I don't know what I was just doing, but I don't know. Alright, so let's get on with this. Next we have a Diablos. And we're going to use... You know what? Let's do this. Oh, we're up to Hunter rank 10. Yeah. That's 6 ranks away from Xenojiva. So for this fight, I'm just bringing down for future fights. I'm gonna make sure that I have enough. Alright. I should be alright. So for the, I'm gonna be using the same sword I used against Angela. Same charge blade. This is the max Jura one. And I'll tell you what it's called in a minute. But I can't think of it right now, top of my head. And I'm gonna make sure sound is working on my live stream. Alright, so I think we're just about good. We're gonna get Camo Mantle. Alright, so I think we're just about... Okay, good. I was just making sure. I know that just repeated for a minute. I was checking the live stream. I wanted to see if you could hear me, because I was so terrified that you wouldn't be able to hear me. And that would be so weird, because then it would just look like I'm walking around doing all this random stuff. Oh. So, I don't know. I suggest whenever you fight Diablos to bring the Ghillie Mantle, because it is very rare when you are fighting him that he will give you a break. Especially because you're going to be hitting him with all you got. Ghillie Mantle is one of the best. Vitality Mantle is useful. And, you know, whatever mantle suits your fancy. But, after you beat, I think it's the 2 Tempered Basil Geese, you unlock a second equipment slot. I think it's that. I might be wrong though. So you wanna get something. Just use the Ghillie Mantle, get to a ballista, and see if you can get his face in the way, and you can shoot him in the face. People, it's like I'm live streaming. I am missing all of these shots. I found out how to get rid of the thing in front of them, so once he's, I guess, yeah. Whenever you see him, you always want to move, because when he goes underground, keep moving, because you never know when he's going to come up. Or just run away if you have enough stamina. If you're not careful, he will mess you up. So you gotta be careful with the apple. There's no... this arena's not a very good example of something to make you crash into, but the Wildspire Waste, when you fight him, has a lot of... whatever you call it, Wildspire. This is a guy you want to dodge into. And while flash pods can be useful, I wouldn't rely on them with all your heart. Spends a lot of time on it. So you always got to be careful with these, because you never know when he's going to come up. If you can block it, block it. You can't. Nice knowing. That is why he is among one of the hardest. Until you break his horns, he is going to mess you up. I'll tell you right now, I am stuck trying to keep the black Diablo. Who apparently can fly a little bit. So, if you're like me and you're fighting in the special arena, which I doubt you will be. I don't know I'm doing this. It's just satisfying. Gets his attention. Might actually have to get some damage after this. We're gonna put our Vitality Mantle on while I try to explain things. So I don't get messed up. Alright, so you want to aim for his horns first. And I'm sure that all people who met this guy know his horns are as deadly as fuck. Fighting in the special arena, just gotta hold him off so you can be dragging him. Gotta get his face in the way. I'm dual charging my charge blade effect if you don't know. Just there, you keep hitting him in the face. Oh, that wasn't breaking. I don't know what I broke. I broke something. I'm in the right. But he has a massive hitbox. So, my best advice is to let him come to you. So there, I got one of his horns down. Alright, so and oh, I messed up. Yo, I should have timed that better. So I decided to do that combo. There we go. Got the other horn down. So now that his horns are down, he's not his head still will deal some damage to you, but it's not gonna do as much. This also makes it unfortunate because you can't get stuck in Wild Square. But hey, you're not getting hit as much. Of course there's going to be doubts. Alright, so this is going to be weird. Yeah, I just stopped in the middle of this fight to cook some food. Because, and this is probably the biggest reason why the Ghillie Mantle is efficient. So, you got the Ghillie Mantle, use it. And you get it, like, right before you beat Toby. Like Toby Kadachi. You can get a good hit on him. So, in turn, I feel like it's well worth it. And then if you can get that tail to sever, then you are in business. But dodging him coming out of the sand is not easy. I won't make fun of anyone who gets hit by it. He's not a easy boss. He's never. I mean, his massive hitbox and his powerful attacks just make him a force to be reckoned with. His only downside is that you've noticed that he's not the fastest. He can't spin around like most enemies you're used to. But this guy's agility really makes up for it. And you've probably noticed that the root of his attacks is all hitting me with that stupid dive. I hate when the Diablos die. I'm pretty sure you can use screamer pods to get him to come up immediately. Got it. I don't care what tactic you use to defeat this behemoth, but all this hulking damager. Let's see if this works. Oh, we can fly. He does fly. Yay, I finally got him to fly. You know, I've never seen the Diablos fly a little bit. Just a little bit. It's satisfying. I've seen the black Diablos fly. But I can't give you like an extreme amount of advice on his power. But I just say dodge. Like get his massive hitbox is what makes him one of the toughest bosses. And that stupid dig. So I don't know. Whatever strategy is more efficient for you, make up your own. Because this guy doesn't care what your strategy is. He's gonna just keep spamming the dig. I feel like, you know, they get smarter. Because he knows that this is the only way he's gonna hit me. And he's just getting very annoying. You know, actually, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is the very first time I've ever fought Diablos with the charge blade. I've always beat him with longsword. And now I'm starting to think that's probably the best weapon. I really do like longsword. It's just that stupid dig. If you ever trouble beating him, this is the one guy that I do not mock people for having trouble with. This guy is literally annoying. But I guess just let him come to you. Because that's how I beat him. Once I let him come to me. There we go. Okay. That was So now you see the reason why I haven't killed a black Diablos. I have killed a high rank Diablos though. I just don't like fighting them because they can get annoying. And this guy is not one of my favorite bosses. So, feels good to murder him. He looks really cool, but he ain't cool. He's like the Kushala de Ora. So, and then... that's pretty funny. Yeah, that's not thinking of a kill screen. Alright, Hunter rank 40. That's nice. It's an improvement. So as you can see, I'm not like super high level with the game, but decent level. I mostly help people with quests because when you're bored and you don't know really what you want to hunt, you just help people. See what they need help with. So that's why I decided to make this video. Try to see if I can make help people because it's effective. All right. Alright, so then I guess that leaves us at our next target. I actually don't feel like fighting the Dodogama, so we're gonna talk about it. We'll see. Alright, now this one I actually do have to gear up for because the Levacia is dangerous. And love the Wigglerhead, but he's gotta go. Not changing weapons though, because this weapon is moderately effective. Let's see if I think he's in here. No, I think he's not in here. Here we go. Levacia. And this one's closest to the fire, I believe. Alright. So Levacia is an optional boss. So is Dodogama. And with optional bosses, in most games, optional bosses usually are pretty tough. Because, well, they're optional. So they gotta make it a challenge. And the Levacia is it's not any different from that. So the Levacia, my first encounters with it were not very pleasant because I didn't know anything about it, and when it did its really powerful charged up attack, I got one shot. And that was a long time ago. Way before I fought Nergigante. We will be talking about, but not fighting, because he drives me insane. And I don't know if you've ever seen me rage, and that was probably when I was earlier on in this thing. I look back at my channel now, oh my god. The videos. Um. So, if you have not fought Nergigante, you don't have this camp. I'm very sure you don't, because this is his lair. Voila, it's really pretty. And then you will, through the first time, you're gonna find chili shrooms. They're like little white mushrooms. You need them. Trust me, you will want them. They will, and you always drink them before you go in here because they'll decrease fire damage and your health will slowly drain in here if you don't have one on. And this is where you're gonna fight the Levacia. You're not gonna get a break from the fire. So you're gonna want a cool drink on at all times. We're gonna put a max potion on. Cook us some meat. So this is, I think you encounter the Levacia down here, I believe. When you like first meet it. But this is the arena you usually start out. And this is the Levacia. So you gotta be careful with this guy though. So as his armor is molten right now, so you can easily hit him. But over time, while he's out of the lava, he will harden. He'll turn like black. You'll see what you should see what I mean. Like that, like his arms are hard. Arms are thin. Let him slide around for a little bit. Probably gonna hit you. He does not run. His legs are hard. So it's gonna look like that. You can't hit it. It's pretty hard to hit like, for the first time. Like now that his armor's all hardened, I won't be able to do it again. When he's gonna charge up to like fire, you'll see like him charge up a really like long one, and that's the one you want to watch out for. And you can do that usually by dodging time. See if this is it. Nope. This is probably what makes him the hardest factor about fighting him, is that his armor will harden. And it's usually in this area, because he doesn't stay near the knife. And once he his armor hardened, it's near impossible to hit. Except for belly. You gotta aim at the belly. Guy. This one right here. That's the one you want to watch out. Whenever you see charge up like that, move out of the way. That's going to be your power. Headed to you. He's not. Also, I don't know how well this theory is because I haven't tried it that much, but I'm gonna try to see if this will work. Like, okay, now he jumped in the lava. It's hot again. Let's see if I can heat him up again. I've just trying to do it. I don't know how probable it is. Alright, so this is where he differs from Rico. He's gonna do some random ground attack, so no, that's not wrong. Like, if he might get more damage. Yeah, whenever you're here, try to get him to get on that geyser when he's after him. Lava geyser. And then... watch out for it. I honestly think this guy is on the most annoying list. For sure. Did it work? Yes, it does. I think. Don't trust me, but I think horsepower can work. There's the bomb. So do it again. My point exactly for him though. He makes it like unnecessary. Luckily I have to do it, so. Alright, so we got a space break. Breaking the basiest parts, what I've noticed, it usually makes it easier. You got stuff in the... So who's the tail that gets stuck in? I still hate the origami. And he really wants to kill Levacia. Okay, he left. Good. Good riddance. This is not a very easy place to fight. It's both the best and the worst place to fight you're going to see it. The best part is that he's almost always in the lava. Oh, my cooldowns were off. Remember, always bring multiple cooldowns because this fight's gonna be mostly lava. Maybe you might. I don't think this guy. I've only ever seen this guy in fire zones. Makes sense though. He's fire fishing. And then this is usually where I get most of my damage in, is when I get him from here. But it's not for everyone. This is where he becomes like the jerk focus. Except much harder. You wanna try to get it, force him up here. You also have to watch out, because while Geototus will only throw mud at you, this guy will deal some serious damage. So, we need to avoid that. First try to avoid that. And then go to the side, get some good hits in. I also recommend bringing the Geljaka. Because, right here, Alright, when he gets down here, he can do some lunges at you, so just keep dodging that. That shouldn't be too tricky, and then he's gonna do a jump. Sometimes he does it like Geototus, where he'll come up from beneath you, so you just gotta always be careful. Watch out for his gigantic tail blocking the screen. Do whatever you can to avoid that. Any attack, hitting any one of his attacks is better than that giant rock ball. And then he will drop slinger bombs, so bring those. And then water weapon, I don't know, this is just me, probably, but it seems like they cool them down faster. And I don't know if the game actually incorporated that, and that would be really cool. And also really annoying at the same time. But just... Oh, hey, double jump. Yay. I don't have any dung... Oh, I brought the dung, though. You should leave me alone, though. I've screwed up enough double Joes. Alright, now let's actually try to beat the crap out of this thing. As, let's see. This one you actually have to become prepared for. This is not like one of the simple ones. Double Joe. I always know it works. I know Joe's roar. But we're not fighting Devil Joe here. We're fighting the Levacia. You gotta watch out for this guy. There's no easy guide to this guy, so. But we're not fighting Devil Joe. We're fighting Levacia. You hear me? You know what? Alright. Alright. Unless we got dunk pods, for in case he wants to come back. Whenever you're in this place, I guess, always try to use the paladin. Got him. Now we're breaking his parts. Okay. So that's gas. You just dodge the fire. You just wanna watch out. Put him fireball. Yeah, there we go. Get him mounted. If you can. Get a good hit in. It's okay, you can't break his back. As long as you injure him, you've done good. And I don't know if this is true, but so far he does not rebuild his armor. I've never seen him. Whatever. I also do kind of like how the Levacia, instead of a roar, shoots fireball. that adds like a little bit of an interesting element to the fight. I don't think I've broken this guy's back before. I've tried, but his back doesn't break. Alright, now he does a unique attack here, which kind of like do a hard curve advantage, where he will jump out of the sky and rain fireballs. So this one, you just gotta watch the fireballs. And then he will jump out of the somewhere and attack. What the? I don't even know what just happened. I think I got hit in the with the splash damage. I'm just gonna say that. We're just gonna say that the splash damage hit me. Because that was really weird. That was actually pretty funny. Alright. So, you know what? Part of me wants to grab another max potion, and the other part of me says it's probably not a good idea. Oh, I don't have enough Mandragora. Alright. Alright, hopefully I have some in here. There we go. Yeah, Mandragora is also extremely useful. As well, I didn't mean to die there, but that just shows how dangerous that one attack is, as it does enough damage to annihilate it, and it has a massive radius. So that's probably the one hardest thing about this guy. Other than that, I think this is a really fun boss. And before we get all the way into this, we need to have a cool drink. Wrong choice, Lavacia. Gotcha. Yeah, that has pretty large radius. I must have just got hit by it. And I know it's at half health, so that's probably a big factor. There we go. Alright. So we're going to talk about Nergigante, because he's next on this list. And so, well, I love the Lavacia, because I think this is a really cool boss. Because it just looks cool, like, the lava armor that he has is literally running. It's like flowing. And yeah. Just cool looking. So with Nergigant, things that like beat the crap out of me, like always, like and I always have to heal from. They irritate me. And frankly, I don't want that. So... let's see. How the heck did I get an Uragon piece? Oh, it was probably when I don't know if I accidentally broke that Uragon's face or the opponent did. The Levacia, I mean. That was weird. With Nergigante, all I can say is bring health potions, use a fast weapon. I'm sorry, greatsword users, but he is hard to beat with the greatsword. I've tried. And well, his main weakness is thunder. So you got thunder and dragon. Dragon does decent amount of damage, and it also has Elder Seal, which will help like slow his spine regeneration a little bit, and the spines absolutely suck. So, however you choose to approach this guy, I cannot give very good advice because I still have a hard time with him. And then I don't know if I want to do a Valhazak, but I probably can. Because you're hunting for a while and you get bored and you don't really want to hunt as much anymore. Because I'm not one of those people who can just sit around and play over and over and over and just keep playing. So I'm trying to make this live stream at least let's go back and fight Dodo. The Dodo Gamma. Because people struggle with that. And with Elder Dragons, I can understand people struggling with an Elder Dragon. He's weak against Fire and Dragon, both very effective. Elder Seal will help with the Effluvium, so I assume using a Dragon weapon. Thanks, Nika. Alright, I do not know if you can hear this, but the internet is going out, and well, I mean, I guess that kind of just concludes this. So, yeah, let's see if this works. Alright, I don't know if you can see me at all, but anyway, I'll just keep talking. Well, I hope you enjoyed this live stream, because I'm probably going to be done in a minute. And I pretty much went through all these enemies and what to do with them. So Vel'Hazak, you want to hit him from the sides, and whenever he rears up, get to his sides, because usually he's going to do that beam thing and stay behind him. If you can stay behind Vel'Hazak, your chances of defeating him are very high. And then always bring null berries and tons of potions, so you can, when he effluviates you, makes your life easy. And then for Xeno'jiiva, because I know obviously people are going to struggle with the final boss, you just look up a guide for that, and I can't fight Xeno'jiiva right now because I don't have a Xeno quest. But I really hope you enjoyed this live stream, and I plan to do it some more. I actually look back at my old videos and laugh, and I'll have to do one of those videos when I get better recording equipment, because I am recording off the PS4. And yeah, so I'll be seeing you next time that I make a stream. I hope you enjoyed this video.